Taoiseach, I wonder if you have any understanding of the nature of the debate that is opening up in Britain now in relation to the proposal of the Tory government to have a referendum on the European Union. And if you understand that when a referendum on EU membership is held in Britain by 2017, there are very powerful arguments why ordinary people in Britain, working class people in particular, would vote against the European Union. I wonder if you understand that the manner in which the European Union, as part of the Troika, attempted to humiliate and cow the people and government of Greece in recent months showed the EU as representing the major capitalist financiers within the financial markets of Europe and not the interests of the poor, the working class and the small farming community in Greece. And do you understand, Taoiseach, that the British people would be fully justified in drawing the conclusion that the EU is utterly hypocritical when it proclaims in its treaties that it is a zone of solidarity, democratic rights and human rights, when it trampled all over the rights of the Greek people, for example, and their democracy? Also over the democratic and social rights of the Irish people, when it cowed governments like your own to repay the private financiers of Europe for their reckless gambling in the Irish property bubble. And I wonder, Taoiseach, if you understand that you and your government's shameful and opportunistic support for the Troika, in attempting to cow the Greek people, have strengthened the argument among ordinary people in Britain to oppose the workings of the European Union, and will be another justification why they will oppose. I wonder if you've seen the opinion polls in the past period in Britain, which shows that despite the rantings of the Tory press, substantial cohorts of ordinary people in Britain oppose the neoliberal drive of the EU, particularly towards privatisation, and stand in fact for the bringing into public ownership again critical services like water, rail, transport and so forth. And finally, Taoiseach, are you being informed as to how the debate is shaping up for the referendum campaign that is ahead? And do you know, for example, that socialists and significant elements of the labour movement, with a small L, in Britain, are now seriously discussing how they will campaign in the referendum against the right-wing and neoliberal policies of the EU, and will counterpose, very importantly, to the xenophobia, to the racism, to the false right-wing populism of parties like UKIP and the fascist elements in Britain, who are attempting to take advantage of the disasters that neoliberal capitalism has inflicted, and that there will be counterposed to that the idea of a really democratic and socialist Europe, where real social solidarity can be based on breaking the power of the major corporations which predominate. All you have to do is look at Volkswagen and its scandalous carry-on in the last week. All you have to do is look at the massive tax avoidance of major multinationals operating in Europe and in here. And counterposing to all that, genuine social and democratic ownership of key services in the interests of our people, including a banking industry, in the interests of all people, that is the basis on which genuine solidarity can be built among the peoples of Europe. And the scandalous situation of 25 million Europeans, particularly young people, cast on the stones of unemployment by the type of Europe that you and your colleagues in the EU have created. Those are the terms of a riveting debate that opens up in Britain. I doubt that you're aware of it, though.
Taoiseach.
Well, you're wrong. I'm well aware of it. And you say, are you receiving information about these things? Of course. Listen to the news the same as anybody else. I don't get to read all the material that comes out, but we're kept regularly informed through our own ambassador and people in Britain about what's happening here. So the answer to the question is yes. You said, I wonder if you understand what's going on. Absolutely. All the polls and all the indicators and all the commentators and all the people who knew everything all got it wrong in Britain. And the people went and voted as they're entitled to do and elected a government with an overall majority, small though it be. Now, you mention about ordinary people, working class people, and working people. Like when the Greek Prime Minister was elected on the basis of a very populist set of proposals and elected by the people, Greece had been approaching a 1% growth rate. That went back.